Hello, what is up everyone, it is me Jacob, and today I am back with yet another video. And I know I took a week-long break. I went to see my family back home in Croatia and I had a good time, but now it is back to making videos and back to studying. And before I get into this video, I want to tell you that I finally decided on a brand new upload schedule. So I will be uploading a new video every Tuesday and Friday. So every single Tuesday and Friday, mostly afternoon, I will be uploading a new video to my channel. Yep. I don't think I'll have time to upload 3 videos per week, which was my initial intention, but yeah, I think 2 good quality videos per week will do, and also I'll just drop in some vlogs in between if I'll feel like it, if I'll have some free time. Now today's video is a video that a subscriber requested, and it is about the costs of living in Vienna as a student. So what are the costs of rent, food, and all of those basic life costs that you need to cover, and how expensive Vienna is at the end of the day. Now, for the most part, I will be talking about my personal experience and my personal costs. I have been living in Vienna for 2 months now, so I feel like I have a pretty okay idea of how much money I have to spend each month minimum to live in Vienna. Now, the 2 biggest expenses for sure are food and rent, specifically rent. That's why rent is the #1 thing I want to focus on in this video. Now, rent prices in Vienna, as in pretty much every city, vary greatly. If you want to live in a newer building, which is like right on campus, and it's like a nice student home with like a party room and a gym and blah blah blah, that's gonna cost you more than, for say, if you just were in a student home which was, outskirts of the city and not so close to the metro line. That is of course going to be a lot cheaper. Same thing goes for food. Of course, it's cheaper to cook for yourself every single day, in most cases, I'm gonna get to that part, than to order Uber Eats every single day, because that will lead to a rather hefty food expense at the end of the month. Now, since I study at the VU, I wanted to look for student homes around Prater and the VU general area, because I didn't feel like spending a lot of time in the metro every day, which is efficient and all of that, but I just feel like, really being able to walk to the university is a great plus for me, and I'll get to that later also. Now, when I was looking for a place to stay, I looked at 4 student homes in total. One of them was a home in Molkereistraße. I think I'm saying that as Molkerei or Mölkerei, no idea. Then 2 milestone homes, one of which I ended up living in. And the last one is called Linked Living. Now, the last 3 are pretty new and pretty fancy, sort of say. The Molkereistraße one is like a bit older, but the price isn't that much lower. Okay, so let's take a look at the prices of all of these 4 homes that I just mentioned. So the home in Molkereistraße is going to run you 525 euros if you want to live alone, or 480 euros if you want to live with someone. So you live in an apartment and you each have your own room, and then you have like a joint living room slash little kitchenette type of a situation. So that's gonna cost you 480 euros per person. Now compare that to linked living, where living alone is going to cost you 599 euros, and living in a 2-person apartment at linked living is going to cost you 1099 euros. So split that into 2 and you get 550 per person. Now from what I could tell from the Linked Living website, Linked Living only offers the 2-person apartments with a double bed. So that's something to consider if you don't want to sleep with a stranger in a queen size. I think it's actually king size, but I'm not too sure. But yeah, that is for sure something to consider. Whereas in Molkereistraße, you can go ahead and live in a 2-person apartment, but have your own room. It's not big. I think the rooms are like 12 to 14 square meters, but that's something. And then you also have the joint living area. And now for the milestone homes. So both of the milestone homes are going to run you 650 euros minimum for a 1-person apartment. This apartment that I live in, a tour coming soon. But their greatest advantage, especially this one is called, I think, Milestone on Campus, and it's literally right next to the campus. I have like a 1-minute walk to VU. Now, why did I decide to live here? Well, for starters, this was like the first student home that I ran into while researching student homes in Vienna. I really liked it. It's a brand new building. It's built, I think, in 2017, so this is only the 2nd year that anyone has, lived I'm the second person ever to live in this apartment, and it really is new and great, and everything works, and I just love it. You get a gym, you get like a party room, there are all sorts of like events and stuff like that. The people who are working here are really nice, and overall it just feels like a really great community. And for the most important part, it's so close to VU that I can literally take a 1-minute walk and I can get to my class. And for me, that was really important because I wanted to be really close to the university. Now, you might be wondering, well, can't I find a cheaper place to live? Yes, you can. These are, I would say, on the upper range of prices of rent. So 650 euros is a lot of money, and it is a pretty hefty rent for a one person, like 24, 5, I think, square meter apartment. But you're not gonna find those in the near vicinity of the VU. So if you want to live really close to the campus and still live in a nice student home, I would recommend checking out these 4. Also, you might be wondering, isn't it like a better idea to just rent an apartment? Well, maybe, but renting an apartment usually calls for like an agency, and you need to pay like 3 months of rent up front, and like the contracts are usually like 15 months long instead of 12 months, or it's like 12 months and then you like have 3 months to decide, or something weird like that. And I just didn't want to get into all of that on my first year here, so I decided to just stay at a student home and to live alone for the first year, and then see if I maybe, you know, decide to move in with a friend into like a 2-person apartment or something. But for now, I'm really happy here. And now the situation with food. Okay, so I mostly eat lunch at the VU Mensa, and I cook my dinners and eat breakfast at home here. The meals at the Mensa are okay, they're tasty, not too big, so if you're like starving, you might not get full. I usually go for the menu option, which means that I get soup, salad, main dish, and a soda for 6 euros, which is great. Actually, soda is always free. And then if you don't want to eat at the Mensa, there's also a McDonald's really near the campus. And meals at McDonald's are mostly going to cost you around like 6 to 7 euros, depending again on what you take. But that's like the bottom line, unless you're like going for a kebab or something, which can be like 3 or 4 euros. But count on at least 3 or 4 euros per meal if you're eating out, and that's only going to be like for kebabs. If you're actually sitting down in a restaurant, that is going to be upwards of 10 euros. Also, coffee is quite expensive in Vienna. In like cafeteria on the VU, like a latte macchiato is like, I don't know, like 4 euros, which is insane. And I just don't feel like giving that kind of money every single day, because that would amount to a lot of money at the end of the month. There are coffee machines like all over the campus, but I honestly can't stand that coffee, like it's really bad, so I don't usually drink that. You might want to get yourself one of these, just a regular thermal bottle that you can put your coffee into and sip it all day long and not have to pay the ridiculously high prices for coffee. So the cheapest grocery shop, from what I've heard, is actually Hofer, but I mostly shop at Billa because it's like right in front of my student home, and I just can't be bothered to walk for like 15 minutes. With my groceries in my hands, so I just shop at Billa. Also, it's worth mentioning that the first time you go shopping to, like, I don't know, buy stuff like salt or pepper or whatever for your apartment, you're probably gonna spend a little bit more money, because it's like stuff that you're only going to need to buy once, and then you're just gonna have it. So yeah, just count on a bit of a larger bill the first month. Same goes with like furniture. If you want to buy or sell something, I know I bought like lamps and stuff, because this place didn't have like a lot of lamps, and I like my place lit. And so I spent some money at the IKEA, which again, I'm only going to spend like once, and then I just have that. So first month, you are counting on a bit of a larger bill. Back to food. So with the lifestyle I just described, I spent an average of 390 euros in my first 2 months. If we add the 650 euros that I spent on my rent, it all adds up to just over 1,000 euros per month of expenses of living in Vienna. Now, before people get all fired up in the comments and say like that's so much money and you can live for way cheaper than that, I know that you can probably live for a lot cheaper than that. But, you know, again, I just moved out here. I'm only learning to budget and to cook for myself and stuff like that. So I do imagine that number going down with time. But mainly you can't save that much money on food. Like the most I could cut right now would probably like around 100 euros, and like the rent still is the biggest factor in the amount of money that you're going to spend every month. So if you want to spend less money and to like live on a budget, it is a great idea to spend a lot more time looking for a good, cheap place than to like plan to budget with food, because food is going to be a lot harder to budget with, and you should do that with your rent. And that brings us to the end of this video, guys. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I helped you. If you have any other questions, please make sure to post them down in the comments below. I answer to all of the comments on this channel on all videos. So if you have a question, it will get answered to the best of my ability. Also, connect with me on Twitter and Instagram. I like hearing from you guys. I've had so many people write me so many positive messages and like ask me how I'm liking my studies, and also people asking questions, and it's been a lot of fun for me to like share the bit of knowledge that I picked up during my really short stay here in Vienna. So yeah, Instagram and Twitter links are down below. I'd like to hear from you guys, and that would be it for this video. Make sure to slap the like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos, and I'll talk to you all next time. Peace.